Hi guys, it's Kylie. Welcome back to another video, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how I repaired my broken nail. Now for this I used some gel base coat and gel top coat. You could use anything that is readily available on the market, you don't have to use the ones that I used. So let's get into it. So as you can see here, I was out shopping the other day and my nail came completely off. I was absolutely gutted because I'd been growing them for Christmas manis, so I thought nope, we're going to repair it. So before I started repairing the nail, I looked after my cuticles because I'm going to be using gel polish. So for that I used CND cuticle away, a cuticle spoon and also a cuticle knife. But I would be advised that if you don't really know what you're doing, I would advise that you use an orange wood stick for your cuticles because a metal one can be quite harsh. So I started off by putting some cuticle remover and then allowed that to settle in for a minute, and then I took the cuticle spoon and I gently pushed back my cuticles. Now I don't have to do this quite a lot because I don't think I actually have cuticles anymore, but what you do is, like, the cuticle isn't actually the bit of skin that goes around your finger, that's called your eponychium. The cuticle is actually the fluffy bit of skin that sits on the surface of the nail. So what you want to do is just gently remove that. So here I'm just using a cuticle knife and I'm going around the surface of my nail and I'm just removing any loose skin that's in there. Now I do tend to suffer from dry skin, so I'll have a little bit more around here than I do on the cuticle area, so I like to pay close attention to the side walls as well. Once you've done that, just use your cotton pad and remove any of the excess cuticle remover. I don't actually have lint-free ones, so please excuse my hairy fingers while I remove all this. Now here I'm just using a cuticle nipper. Now for these you do have to be very gentle, and you don't want to touch the eponychium. If you've got a little hangnail like I do here, what you want to do is just push down on the cuticle pusher onto the piece of skin, clamp it hard, and once you know that the skin's been moved from your finger, then lift it up. But please remember not to remove too much. And certainly not the live skin. So once you've done that, because we've been using the cuticle remover, which can be quite drying for your hands, we're going to completely scrub our hands. Make sure it's very clean. Here I'm just using acetone in a cotton bud, and I'm just cleaning the nail. You want to do this so when you put the nail back, there isn't any debris or anything in the way. I'm using the Edge quick dry resin, and I'm just going to put some, using the brush that comes in the bottle, over the top of the finger where the break is, and it's the same on the actual broken nail. You want to allow that to settle for a couple of seconds once you've pushed it in, and then once you're sure that it's strong enough for you to put more pressure on, you're going to want to push it down and make sure that you're really paying close attention to the side walls, because it's a full break. You're going to need to put a little bit extra glue like I just did here, and also completely right along your finger, just to give it that little bit of extra durability, and it will last a lot longer as well. So you're going to want to allow that glue to settle for a few minutes, and once you're sure it's completely dry, we're going to pinch the nail just to make sure the sides are completely flush and nothing's poking through. Now we're going to go on to the silk wrap, which is going to help just make the nail last a lot longer as well. The one I'm using is also by the Edge, and it comes in a long strip. They're fairly cheap and available on Amazon for just around about £4 or £5. I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut off a size that I think it's obviously too big for my finger, but I like to just measure properly. Now, what I like to do is I like to take a pen, and on the front where the wrap is, draw a line that's going to go to the top of the finger, so the ink isn't on your nail, if that makes any sense. And this bit's just going to help you make sure that it's completely flush with the cuticle and also with the tip. Once you're happy with the size, you're going to again fit it to measure your finger and then trim off any excess. You're going to want to get this as close to the finger as you can, but making sure you've left a little room so when it's on you can trim it to the size that suits best. Gently remove the silk wrap, and we're going to use, again by the edge, and this is the Activator spray. So what you're going to do is you're just going to spray this onto your finger, and while it's still slightly tacky, we're just going to line up, you can just see me here lining up the wrap. Once you're happy with how it is, then you're going to want to put it on. Allow it to settle for a few seconds, give it a minute to stick to this, like the nail bed, and then you're going to want to take your scissors and trim it as close to the top of the nail as you possibly can, but you're going to want to leave a little bit hanging over the edge, and this is going to help you with your filing later on. Again, using the same resin, just where the nail is, and just to underneath the crack and to the actual bit of your nail, you're going to want to put more resin on and allow that to dry. Now on to the part of the nail where it's just your nail bed. We're going to put on some primer, and this one is by Ink London. This is Ink London Base Coat. You don't want to put too thick a coat on. You want to be liberal though, if that makes any sense. So brush off some on your brush, making sure that you like brush in a fluid motion, making sure to also to cap your free edge. Now with gel polish, for a good application, you're going to want to make sure nothing is around the cuticle area. Stick that under your lamp, allow that to dry for 30 seconds in an LED or about a minute in an UV light. Using some rubbing alcohol, you're going to want to take off the inhibition layer before you buff the shiny surface off. And the reason we're doing this is it'll just give you a little bit of something for the top coat to like stick to, if that makes any sense, but it'll also help with if you've put too much of a thick layer on. Now I'm going to be using the same top coat by Ink London, and we're going to do 2 coats of this, but obviously we're going to do them like 1 coat and then go through the same process of cleaning around the cuticle just to make sure everything's nice and clean before you put it back into your LED light for another 30 seconds. Once that's come out, again we're going to buff the surface, and I like to keep doing this so you don't have like your apex isn't bulky, but you do want to make sure everything is dry before you do this, or all your hard work will be ruined. Now this is the last coat. As you can see, I've made sure that everything is nice and smooth. There's no bumps, but it's also gave you a lot of added durability, and it'll help your nail wrap last a lot longer than what it would if you just used the resin, or a tea bag for that matter. The fact that people actually use tea bags on their nails scares me. That's like, for a Scottish person or a British person in general, that's like blasphemy. So on to the making sure everything's nice and filed. As you can see, I've got 2 glass files here. One's a Leighton Denny and it's quite a large one. We're not going to use that one. We're going to be using this small one by El Corazon, and this is going to help you get into the sidewalls. As you can see, the big one is more like chubbier, if that makes any sense. So you just want to be gentle, going in one fluid motion, all in the same direction. Don't do a sawing motion because you'll end up damaging your nail, but it'll also take off the gel that you've put underneath, like when you capture free edge. So you just want the extra little bit of the silk wrap that you left around. That's going to give you as a guide to make sure you don't take too much of your nail off, because it's really easy to do that if you've got a glass nail file. Now we're just buffing the nail, and that's it done. As you can see, it looks really quite natural, and once you've put a nail polish on, no one will even know that it's broken. So now I'm just removing any debris from when I filed, and we're going to put a base coat on. This is by Cuccio. This is a really good base coat. It's fairly cheap. I bought mine, I think it was for like £3.50 from Nail Polish Direct, but it's absolutely amazing. It's one of my favourite mainstream brands. Now you always want to make sure you cap your free edge as well. Now even though we've put the gel on the other finger, we're also going to put a base coat on, and the reason we're doing this is because the gel is just acting as a barrier between your silk wrap. It's not like, I like to change my nail polish often, So I'll still use a base coat to help with the nail polish, if that makes any sense. Here we're just putting some hand cream on. This is by Nivea. It's probably one of my favourites as well. We're going to be put just a bit more than a pea-sized drop on because you don't need as much. And when you're rubbing it in, pay close attention to the cuticle area and underneath the nails as well. I feel a bit stupid, but I'm showing you an upside down Sally Hansen cuticle repair, and this is actually really good. You have to squeeze some of the light, like the translucent gel on your hands, and I found that it's actually helped a lot with my cuticles. I have psoriasis, so I do get a lot of dry skin, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. This is a cuticle balm called by Badger Balm or something, I don't know. I bought it from eBay. I'm actually quite happy with it as well. I love the smell of it. It smells like lemons. So I'm just rubbing this I can't get that word out. Rubbing this around my cuticles and allowing that to settle in. And that's it. Basically, it's just an easy nail routine, but it's productive, if that makes any sense. And that's it done. I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.